Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the season or series. I don't know what to say at the moment for Ashoka because I don't know if there's going to be a season 2, but at least for argument's sake I'll say season. The season 1 finale of Ashoka, the TV show. Now, those of you who knows, who's been here on the channel, even before the Ashoka show even was announced, Ashoka has always been my favorite hero of the Clone Wars. I have always said that ever since she left the Jedi Order in season 5. She has always been one of my favorite heroes of the Clone Wars. And yeah, she's my second favorite Star Wars character versus Luke Skywalker. So of course I was that was a side of me that was excited to hear that Ahsoka got a show, right? Pardon me. But most of me was intrigued, how are they going to do this? I am still in the camp where Ahsoka should have died in her duel with Vader in Rebel Season 2. But that's just my personal opinion. But with that said, we're not talking about anything else outside of Ahsoka's season 1, episode 8, which sounds like a ripoff of the first Narnia movie and book, which is the Chronicles of Narnia, which is, in this case, the Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. So, essentially the good guys, our heroes, tries to prevent Grand Admiral Thrawn from escaping, and that's pretty much the plot. We see that Ezra finally gets his new lightsaber. He makes his new lightsaber, and he gets a hilt that is the exact, not the hilt, but the head part of the lightsaber, and I mean this part, where it's the emitter part, I should say, of the lightsaber, that is a replica in a way of Kanan's lightsaber, which is Ezra's master that we got introduced in the Clone Wars, and also died in the Clone Wars. Sorry. He was Kanan was in the Clone Wars for one episode. No, that's Bad Batch. Anyways, actually no, he was for a brief second. Anyways, my point being, we technically got introduced as fans to Kanan in Rebels, but he died in Rebels. And so, the droid, voiced by David Tennant, said that there were only two emitter things that were made. One Kanan took, and the droid kept the second one in case Kanan needed it. But since he's no longer with us in the movie universe, but Ezra is and making his lightsaber, the droid said it's only fitting that you have it. And Ezra admits that blue lightsaber. Hey Yang, I think is the droid's name, fills Ezra in on what happened, why there was why Sabine and Ahsoka kind of fell apart. And then we see Sabine and Ahsoka talking, and Ahsoka telling Sabine that back in the Clone Wars, she had to make some decisions that not everyone got. Not everyone got, but Anakin always backed her up, especially when it was important, right? And so she was saying because of that, because of Anakin had sold her that, she will in turn try to be, I guess, a better master by being there for Sabine moving forward. And so, essentially, our three heroes infiltrates Thrawn's base of operations per se. Thrawn has Mark and Elspeth and some stormtroopers go after Ahsoka and Ezra and Sabine to try to slow them down so that he can escape, right? And the Night Sisters that was with the Grand Admiral Thrawn put this spell on the stormtroopers where now, like, if they get shot by a blaster bolt, normally it will kill you, right? But it doesn't in this case because I guess there's some resurrection spell. And so Ahsoka fights Morgan Elspeth. Ezra gets force pushed by Sabine onto the Star Destroyer that Thrawn's on. That's making their escape. And I'm in the camp, which I know you guys probably heard already, but you guys are going to hear again on this channel, in this video, that there's, like, it's okay, like, if Sabine, like, like, use the force to grab the, like, lightsaber to her, to kill that stormtrooper, essentially. But I'm in that camp, too, that there's no way Sabine should have been able to use the force to push Ezra as good as she did at this point. Like, I get, yeah, you want to show us that she has the force in her. Force pulling the lightsaber to her and activating it, okay, fine. I don't think many people have an issue with that alone. But, like, her force pushing Ezra, that might have been overkill. Like, with how, like, much, like, we don't even know how much, like, time she had really trained. And from my understanding, she hadn't really trained, she didn't really have any time to train from, like, the first two episodes and this episode. She didn't really have any time to be trained. Because she was going on in the mission to stop Balin and his apprentice, finding Thrawn, getting kidnapped, like, being Thrawn's prisoner, only to be released. And then, literally found Ezra, trying to figure a way to get off the planet. I don't get how she had that time to actually train that way. And I hate to use her as an example because she's, like, was definitely a Mary Sue in the sequel trilogy, but it's, yeah, Rey used the Force Jedi mind trick, right? Okay, fine. I think a lot of people can excuse that for it because usually, like, people with force sensitivity, they usually do, like, portray something, a force ability that they're pretty good at, or decent at, say, before getting trained, right? But I hate to give Rey this credit because I'm really not a fan of the sequel trilogy. But even when Rey was on Act 2, we saw her training a little bit. And we saw, like, Luke's first lesson, she was in a way connecting to the Force, right? And then there, like, a year after the events of the Last Jedi, came the Rise of Skywalker, trained by Leia. And we even saw some of that training towards the beginning of the movie, right? Sure, you can say that we saw a bit of the training in here, but it was with the lightsaber, not with the Force. And that's enough, like, and that would be a good thing to call, like, poke holes in my logic right now, saying, well, we never seen, like, Rey really training in the ways of the Force. More like with the lightsaber in the movies, and I'll give you guys that. But still, my point being is that we actually saw Rey training a little bit more. And then Sabine, right? And Rey even had a year between the events of Last Jedi or Force Awakens / Last Jedi, and because Last Jedi and Force Awakens happened like right back to back, but Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker happened a year apart, right? So in that year, she might not be as good or nowhere near the level Luke was at in Return of the Jedi. I don't feel like, but I feel like it's like more like easier to grasp for us fans that Rey is more fans in the like it has the fans decently in her Jedi training, but the same with Rise of Skywalker than Sabine did in one of the 6 episodes that we didn't really see any time with her like really practicing the Force. So that's one issue I have with Sabine right now. So she got lucky, but then was going to get pulled by Ezra, but then she saw Ahsoka fighting Mark and Elspeth. So essentially, Ezra was the only one who escaped the planet with Thrawn. Essentially, Ahsoka kills Mark and Elspeth, and Sabine helps Ahsoka destroy the rest of the stormtroopers, leaving Ahsoka and Sabine stuck on the planet where Ezra was, essentially, on Thrawn. Thrawn left. Ahsoka tells Sabine that they're exactly where they're supposed to be. Then that night, Ahsoka and Sabine has a heart moment. Ahsoka sees a light, but a shadowy figure, but that can't make out who it was. I'm guessing Ahsoka could make out who it was. That's yet to be confirmed or not. But turns out the shadowy figure was Anakin's Force Ghost, which I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't see Anakin's Force Ghost like verbally talking to Ahsoka. Sabine, okay, I can understand because like based off of what like Revenge of the Sith, you need some training to attune yourself to be able to speak to people from the Neverlands with the Force. So I can understand that. But I was kind of disappointed that we didn't see Force Ghost Anakin talk, right? And then so then we also have Ezra in a Stormtrooper outfit land in the Rebel Star Cruiser, essentially. Everyone's understandably alert, like, who are you? But Chopper comes along, immediately recognizes Ezra. He takes off his helmet, and Hera says, Ezra? Hera says, and then he says, hey, Hera. And that's pretty much the summary of the episode. Now, I dug this episode. I thought, I should say dug this episode. Because, like, even though I found it entertaining at times, I feel like this could have been a tad bit more badass, like a better term, if that makes sense. But yeah, Ahsoka, episode 8 was alright. The Ashoka show overall, I might also do this, make what I think of the Ashoka show overall in more in depth, but based off the 8 episodes, it's not the best nor the worst show I've seen. It's mid. I know that I've heard the reason why like we didn't see Hera and Ezra hug is because when Hera the shooting when they shot the scenes, it was like 2 different days. So Ezra was on one day, Hera and the other rebels or resistance, whatever you want to call them, rebels were on a different day. So this is why we didn't see them hug. I mean, I still think Ian McGregor's wife, I forget her name, did a pretty good job at like acting in that scene. Which I kind of like watched Star Wars Theories video of it, and I think it was him who said that he wonders if Ezra now, knowing where the locations is at, to find Ahsoka and Sabine, to help to get the Republic to tell them what's going on, to get them to okay, take this seriously, and essentially also save, to get a rescue team to save Sabine and Ahsoka, right? And speaking of heir to the Empire too, this sets up great for Luke to be the Jedi, like to be in the forefront of the heir to the Empire movie. If Dave Filoni was trying to set this show up to go that route for the movie that he's planning to do, what, in a few years. I think my favorite part had to be when Ezra built his lightsaber. And then the scene afterwards, moment afterwards, when Sabine and Ezra were talking, how Ahsoka was reflecting that Anakin was always there for her when she needed him. And even though he might not fully understand, he kind of understood, and she was thankful to have him there. So I do like how she kind of said, I'm going to do the same thing as my master did for you, Sabine. So I kind of did like that little sentimental moment between the two of them. So I think those two parts had to be my favorites of the entire episode. But anyways, I know I'm a few weeks late for this review, and I'm sorry. I thought a friend of mine was going to cover the last two episodes, because I promised him I will be on the panel if for the save my reviews for his channel for when I was going to do the episodes reviews, and we only did episodes 3 through 5, which you can see in the playlist, but we never ended up doing the last few episodes after that. So better late than never, right? Anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. May the force be with us all.